way Jerry described it before the season started, it was like, well, obviously, this season ebbs and flows with the production of Zeke. And we were like, yeah, but the modern NFL exists, so that's probably not the way to go. Well, are you to the point now, Mike, where you're like, well, we probably do need to run the ball if we're going to win? Run and defense.
I think so.
Okay.
You need to shorten the game up. You don't want a whole bunch of possessions, because you feel like the more possessions Cooper Rush has, the more problems the Cowboys might have. So if you can, it's not the easiest thing to do. It's great to say it, but if you can, let's just say you get the opening kickoff and you have a 7-minute drive and you get points on the board. I won't even say a touchdown.
Yeah.
But like 3-0 and there's 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Well, gosh, I mean, that means, let's just say this week, Joe Burrow has just been sitting there watching football for 20 minutes after warming up. And so now he gets on the field, and if your defense is good enough to get them off the field and they punt again, and then you can get a couple first downs in 6 plays, let's just say, because I think running the ball, you do put yourself in, you're hoping, 3rd and short situations. I do think it is tough to run the ball, if that's going to be what you do 50% of the time or more, and get first downs on 1st and 2nd down. I do think you'll put yourself in a lot of 3rd and short situations with the analytic people saying that's really bad. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 is really bad. You want to make your first down on the first 2 plays. If you don't, 3rd down, eventually you will fail. But I see it differently, and look, that makes me probably really stupid, is I need Cooper Rush being in 3rd and short situations. I would love to get a first down on 1st down. He ain't good enough. I would love to get a first down on 2nd down. I don't think our offensive line and running backs are good enough to just be like 7 here, 5 there. Let's just do it all over again. Now we just got 5 on 1st down, but we got 7 on 2nd down running the ball. But I do think if you put Cooper Rush in 3rd and short situations, it gives him a chance to move the chains. If you put him in 3rd and 8, we're punting.
Because you just think like the combination of rush, the rush for the other team in terms of the pressure they're bringing, and our lack of separation from the wide receivers is a disaster recipe right there.
Yes.
I saw somebody text this in, and I certainly understand that. It sounds great until the right tackle false starts. Yeah, I mean, look, getting behind the chains to begin with is usually not a winning formula for any team. It's usually not a winning formula for the Cowboys. It feels like it could be a death sentence on Sunday, a sports death sentence, of course, is if you consistently find yourself in 1st and 15 situations, or 2nd and 10 because you got that pre-snap penalty. I think that is going to be hugely problematic. Now, one of the things I looked at is I think that first drive is what you hope to emulate, not only because the Cowboys scored their lone points of the game, which is really depressing when I say that out loud, is just look at how effective early the run was, specifically on that first drive. Is you get a 2nd and 3, first carry of the game. Zeke gets 7 yards, first down. You get Zeke on a 1st and 10, 6 yards, first down. So they go right back to the run, 5 yards, first down. So you had positive movement with the chains. And I realize like your first 3 carries or consistently going 7, 6, 5 is probably not realistic, but you did see that they can get ahead of the chains by running sometimes.
I'm not an offensive coordinator, but my brain thinks after those 3 runs, I feel like double reverse 3 to 5 pitches before we start making forward movement would be a good idea.
Believe it or not, yeah, that was... I've still, I know that 2 of the Cowboys ran into each other, but it felt like we were going to try to pull one more reverse that would have sent us 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes Kellen Moore, I remember my dad telling me this story, and I forget which pitcher that was his teammate that they didn't think was the smartest pitcher in the world. And they're like, hey, why did you throw him a breaking ball there? And the pitcher is like, well, I got him out with my fastball the last couple times. I just wanted to see if I could get him out with my breaking ball. It's like, what? But the fastball is going to work? I do, but I just wanted to see if the other one would. And you're like, just keep throwing the one that gets him out.
And that is an interesting philosophy because it started out with, Dak with short completion to Schultz. Where did that go for most of the rest of the game? And then Zeke run up the middle. Both of those plays got 7 yards. And what did the Cowboys do for most of the rest of the game? I know that like the heat got picked up on Dalton Schultz a lot later in the game, and he ended up with 7 catches, but a lot of those ended up when the game, like even at 12-3, felt like it might be out of reach. But short pass to Dalton Schultz, good. Run from Zeke, good. Triple reverse right after that, and let's get away from the concept of running the ball and throwing to Dalton Schultz for a good chunk of the game. And clearly the offense was a catastrophe for most of the game.
So is this a certain resignation to just kind of like 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, this thing? Because it feels like in the modern NFL, chunk plays are necessary. So like, I get there's a certain balance here. Like you have to attempt chunk plays to hit chunk plays, but at the same time, it felt like their attempts in that game were all stymied.
I think that you're onto something, and in a normal circumstance, I would 100% agree with that. But I think when you look at the way the Cowboys won with Cooper Rush last year at the Vikings, like it was an ugly, push your face down in the dirt kind of game, even if we all have synthetic fields now. But like I feel like you're probably not going to see a victory. And if I'm wrong, I'll take any kind of victory this weekend. But I think it's very unlikely that you'll see
moral.
That this is an actual victory.
Got you.
That is an actual victory. I think it's very unlikely that you see the Lions-Eagles 38-35 kind of deal. You know, like this feels like a game where if you win it, it's going to be 16-13. So I'm definitely with you about this is like moving away from the modern concept of the NFL. And I'm not saying you don't make that throw every now and again, because that's another thing. If you set up, we're going to Dalton Schultz and we're running the ball, if you create any semblance of separation with CD or whoever else, there should be an opportunity because that defense is going to close way in on you.